means so much to see our Democratic family come together. This is truly a historic election season. Many of us, when we were kids growing up in the Deep South, never thought we would see this day. We never thought that this country would ever be ready. And we had a great election season. When I was a little girl, my mother and father would call us in the room in all our births, Cheryl, Sheila, Donna, Tater, Chet, Lisa, Demetri, Kevin, Ziola. And they would tell us, before we said our evening prayers, that we could be anything and anyone we wanted to be when we grew up. And when they left the room, we giggled because we knew certain doors were closed to women and minorities in this country. But after this historic election season, we saw a phenomenal woman, Hillary Clinton. And yes, a dynamic man, Barack Obama. Those doors, those windows will always be open for women and minorities now to blaze the trail. This is our moment, Democrats. We have waited so long, 8 years. And I don't have to tell you the record that we're going to tell the American people. We left the White House in 2000. Some of us believe that we won that election in 2000. With record peace, prosperity, Republicans took over, and now we have a $9 trillion deficit. We have a war with no end in sight. We have challenges across the globe. We have more Americans living in poverty than ever, more Americans without health insurance, more children going to bed at night hungry. I don't have to convince you why it's important to elect Barack Obama, and yes, elect a stronger Congress to give Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid a fighting majority. Let me just tell you why it's so personal. Because 3 years ago this week, my hometown in New Orleans and so many other smaller towns along the Gulf Coast, they were prepared, yes, for a hurricane, but they had no idea that the levees would fail and people would be left stranded on their roofs, left stranded at halfway houses, shelters, senior citizen homes, and all they wanted was their country, their government, to come and get them out. And we had a president who flew over. If this election means anything to you, just remember 3 years ago that your fellow citizens were sitting and waiting in the hot sun for their government to just come and get them and bring them a bottle of water, and our president flew over. That's why we have to take back the White House. That's why we have to work hard. That's why we're counting on you, New Mexico. We're counting on you. Every voice in this room will be so important, not just those of us who are talking pundit heads. I'm going to rattle the cages and stir the waters, but we need you, New Mexico. Governor Richardson is a great American. I've known him all my life, I feel like. I sometimes tell him that he's the original soul man. No offense to James Brown. But along with our lieutenant governor and all of our state officials and our strong Democratic Party, we need you to lead this convention and go back and to call the roll, to bring our party together, and yes, to bring our country together. I want to thank you in advance for what you'll do. So on election night, some 70 days away, when they say New Mexico, and I say yes.
This dynamic lady, it was in 2000, and she said we were going to go to the inauguration together. We didn't quite close the deal. And Donna Brazil, I'm telling you today, we're going on an inauguration together in January 2000.